Hey guys, today we're going to be doing a little bit of deck building. So, before the new support dropped, I didn't really realize this, but this these cards kinda dumb. Well, just disregarding the garnets you have to run, like how you would have to run, I guess. I guess 4 Rescue Ace cards worth setting off of Turbulence. But yeah, I still agree. These cards, dumb. Notably Turbulence. You can banish 2 Rescue Ace cards from your graveyard, special summon this card from your hand. During your main phase, you can set up to 4 Rescue Ace Quick Play spells / normal traps with different names directly from your deck. If another card or cards you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, except during the damage step, you can target 1 card on the field, destroy it. So, the primary thing here that we care about is, what is the special summon condition on this? It doesn't have one. Great. Are there any restrictions? No. So you're telling me if you can summon Turbulence and just leave it on the field, you get like 5 pieces of interaction or something? Well, close to it, I guess. So we have Rescue here. Target a Rescue Ace monster in your graveyard, or if you control a Hydrant, target 1 monster in your opponent's graveyard. Instead, special summon it to your field. So this allows you to essentially do a monster reborn, I guess. Epic. And then here, this is negate monster effect, right? No, this is destroy monster. Okay, so that's not the right one. So we have contain. Okay, this is the negate. Yep. So we have contain, monster, negate, then monster destruction here. And also, your opponent cannot activate the effects of that destroyed monster or of monsters with its same original name this turn. So this is funny because this actually affects certain decks in really dumb ways. Cyber Dragon. They're all Cyber Dragon on the field. Funny. But focusing back up here. Are these SKU cards? Yeah, they would be, right? What's this say? For this, Rescue Ace. Alright. They're rescue cards, but not Rescue Ace. Rescue Warrior. Yeah. But general idea is if we can get this to the graveyard, this is super easily summonable. So, Promethean Princess requires 2+ effect monsters. So all you have to do is essentially get 3 effect monsters on the field. Turbulence in the graveyard. Boom. Promethean Princess brings back Turbulence, Turbulence effect, and you have like 4, 5-ish pieces of interaction, give or take. Just randomly for pretty much no good reason. Okay. But this was before, and you still had to find a way to get Turbulence to the graveyard. Are there that many good ways to get fire monsters necessarily into the graveyard? Yeah, I don't think so. So, now that the new support has dropped, well, aren't there quite a few ways? So, Emergency. This is obviously one of the best ways. Special summon a Rescue Ace monster from your deck in defense position, then tribute 1 Rescue Ace monster from your hand or field. Just simply summon Turbulence, tribute Turbulence, summon back with Promethean Princess. Good enough? And you have 3 copies of this in your deck, probably. If you want to play it this way. So, that's just an option, I suppose. And then, after this, we have, of course, Snake Eye. Snake Eye just really gets you there. So, we have original Sinful Spoils being able to special summon any level 1 fire monster from your deck, so that this can be a Hydrant. Then we have Snake Eye Ash, which can just add you the Hydrant instead. If you want to do that could be potentially another body. Kind of situational, I suppose, but yeah. If it gets you there, it gets you there. And then we can just ignore all of this and just not even care. Like, Snake Eye, pretty consistent and all that. And you can probably fairly consistently do Snake Eye Ash, add Poplar, Original Sin for the copy of Hydrant, or we can just normal summon Poplar, just anything that gets us into Original Sin, gets us into the Hydrant. So that includes like the Diabell Star stuff, of course, but you know what? We can get this even more consistent. Like, no joke. So even if we do get, for example, our copy of, I guess, you know who, right? So even if we get our copy of Hydrant, it doesn't really matter because just getting Hydrant, who cares, right? Turbulence is what we really care about. So if we actually take a step back, how easy is it now to get to Turbulence? So you would still probably be required to run at least this. So we're looking at like 3 main deck cards, just that, right? 2 copies of Poplar, 1 copy of Original Sin, and then there is this new Pyro, not Link 4, Pyro rank 4. It has quite the lovely effect. You can detach 1 material from this card, take 1 Pyro monster from your deck, and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. So what happens when you would add, of course, Poplar to the hand? It special summons itself. Then it adds Original Sin. And then what does Original Sin do? Why, of course, it allows you to special summon a copy of Hydrant, right? And then from here, we're most of the way there, right? Real quick though, was there something else notable about this card? If this card is banished and you control a Pyro monster, I don't think we could banish this, right? Okay. Whatever. So, Poplar effect, probably. Special summon itself, link off for Link Reboot. Then we would Original Sinful Spoil, the Snake Eyes Poplar in the back row, summoning our copy of Rescue Ace Hydrant, and then from here we can simply make Barricade Borg to send our copy of Turbulence into the graveyard from the hand because we're going to add it off of Hydrant, and then we can go ahead then special summon back by making Promethean Princess, and that's good enough. So all we needed to do in this case was just make a rank 4 anyway into a rank 4, and this line becomes instantly available. Of course, like, you'll also need to run the Rescue Ace cards. So here, let's see. Pick one Rescue Ace monster you control. Okay. You can only use this effect of reinforce once per turn. Does it say different names? It does. Okay, so something like, I don't know. Well, these, those, maybe one of those. Doesn't super matter. Rescue alert. So we also, with this, we have the option of using rescue, I guess, to special summon back Hydrant, right? Yeah. Special summon Hydrant with rescue. That turns on the other effects that these might have. If you currently control Rescue Ace Hydrant, your opponent cannot activate the effects of that destroyed monster or of monsters with its same original name. So that also deals with like floating effects, I guess, right? And then this makes it so that monster cannot be used as material for a fusion, synchro XYZ, or link summon this turn. So yeah, that is just some interaction. And then if another card or cards you control leaves the field by opponent's card effect, pick your 1 card on the field, destroy it. So targeted destruction. We're looking at, I guess, 3 or 4-ish, maybe 5, if you're kind of lucky, I suppose, right? With emergency, there is also the option, of course, of special summoning Preventer, right? And then Preventer is Book of Moon. And then there is, of course, Rescue. If you already have the Hydrant, you can target one monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it to your field. So that's all doable. Now, the question here we're looking at probably is, how are we summoning Infernal Flame Banshee to begin with? I think that's maybe a good question. So, what if we do it this way? Time Thief. If I could spell. I think I spelled it right and then spelled it incorrectly. Good job, me. Okay, let's see. This card is in the graveyard. You can detach one material from an XYZ monster you control. Special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. Perfect. This gives us enough bodies to keep the copy of Hydrant. So that's great. So let's say we normal summon Regulator. We can then grab some of these, right? Should check real fast to see if these do anything, though. Oh, interesting. Doesn't really do that much for us here. Yeah, those don't matter. Okay. You can add a Time Thief card from your deck to your hand, except for Winder. Is there a good add? Let's see. I guess there is nothing we can do with these, right? So let's see. If we do normal summon Regulator, special summon Winder, and then we special summon probably Bezel Ship makes sense. We can do that. Grab Adjuster. Does that allow us to do anything without running 2 main garnets? Yeah. Seems the answer might be a no. Chrono Quarter? Anything we can do with that? No. Okay. So, stared a hole into my monitor right there, but okay. Wait, does this do anything? Discard is the graveyard, target one type of thief monster you control. Turn that monster to the hand, and if you do special summon this card, banish it when it leaves the field. Oh, that might actually get you somewhere. This. We summon this and this. We can then send this guy, the Temper Wall, returning Winder. And what would Winder have added? Winder hasn't added yet. Bezel Ship only activates in the graveyard, right? Where does this activate from? Okay, graveyard as well. So how do we get Bezel Ship into the graveyard if we were to add it? Set can only activate one effect, right? Yeah. So awkward. We sent this, return this, special summon Redoer. We don't have a way to get like Bezel Ship into the graveyard from this point. But if we did, let's just assume we did, then we can probably Redoer and also get like a Time Thief Redoer. I'm not sure if it's possible to get Redoer and Infernal Flame Banshee without running 2 main garnets, but seems maybe doable. But I guess in this case, the thing we might want to add back is, or add is Retrograde here, because the Redoer will come back, because we will banish it, I guess. So, seems okay, I guess. And then Temper Wall will be in the graveyard again. Okay. Seems legit enough. Like, as just an option. So either way, Infernal Flame Banshee by itself is just generic 2 level 4 monsters. We could make this, and then this by itself, without a normal summon, already guarantees you a way into Rescue Ace Turbulence and a way to summon it. If you have one additional card, that's all you would need to avoid having to grab Rescue, and then using that to bring back Hydrant. Instead, you'd bring back one of your opponent's monsters, and that's like a sort of interaction or interruption, right? And there is even the really like fairly complicated idea of using Reinforce on Turbulence to deal with like a Baron, right? I think that is pretty doable. There's also potentially instead using like Emergency to summon Preventer, which is just something you'll pretty easily be able to do. And Promethean Princess might be in the graveyard depending on exactly how everything goes, right? If we want to, we could potentially also summon Snake Eye Ash and get places, but that is a little bit more difficult, I suppose. But this really minimalizes the amount of Rescue Ace monsters you need, and of course, there are clearly more ways to get into Turbulence than just this. This is probably just the most efficient way, just make a rank 4 and you got it, right? So, if we were to, let's see, we have Turbulence here, right? Yeah, okay. Wait, now that I think about it, okay, yeah, you can get at least Redoer with just uh, the one card. I just wasn't looking at it in the right way, but anyways, focusing back up. We just need to get Turbulence to the graveyard by whatever means, right? It doesn't super matter how we get this. So let's just check this real quick. I think there was something that was pretty useful for this. Fallen of Albaz, +1 monster with 2,500 or more attack. Titaniclad Ash Dragon. So, not necessarily going to say this is the best way, but Branded Fusion, sending Fallen of Albaz, plus Turbulence to summon Titaniclad. And then this will allow you to special summon back Rescue Ace Turbulence. You just need to find like a way after this. Not that hard, I guess, right? Surely not. Seems fine, I guess. That takes, well, that at least deals with having to get it into the graveyard. Maybe getting it out of the graveyard is a little harder here in this case, but there are a lot of ways into Branded Fusion. I don't know how many ways you can bring back Rescue Ace Turbulence from this point, but that gets you halfway there. I suppose someone might make it work someday. And then, of course, there's Curious, Beatrice, all of those work as well. If we were to specifically special summon back Turbulence, after that all we have to do is simply make Promethean Princess. So what we could do is we could even use like Vendred. Vendred can make Beatrice fairly easily, right? If we wanted. We might be able to get a lit enough hand to actually have a Revendred Executor alongside this, just straight up for pretty much no reason. Epic. That could work. maybe not optimal because of all the garnets you kind of have to run, but it is a fairly high level, which makes it decent for ritual summoning as well as like the fodder, I guess, and then you can Promethean Princess it back later. So with strategies like that, Turbulence makes a whole lot of sense to use for some reason. Promethean Princess does a lot of work though. So for the most part, we just need to get Turbulence into the graveyard. Turbulence is a machine. So there is also this. If you were like a psychopath, this searches specifically a level 5 or higher machine monster, which this is a machine and it's level 9. If you were to summon this in, well, you can summon 2 guys to your Cleaver Genius zones in Super Heavy Samurai. So if you're a psychopath, like a really big psychopath, Turbulence is an option here, and it's of course set up to 4. So in this case, you will have pen zones because you presumably you pendulum summon to trigger Cleaver Genius. Then you would have 3 back row, unless you were to Baron pop. In that case, yeah, if you were to I guess Baron pop 1 of your back row, then you have 4 spell traps after doing like a super heavy samurai combo. As dumb as that sounds, it works, I guess, and then you'd later just go like Barricade Borg, Promethean to bring it back. Which you definitely have enough monsters to do that with. And then, let's see. In terms of generic machine stuff, I don't think there's anything else that, well, there's not that many other cards that can quite get us to Turbulence, surprisingly enough. You would need to, like, I believe Curious or Beatrice this for the most part, but yeah, you know, there is always like this, right? Scrap Recycler. When this card is normal or special summon, you can send 1 machine monster from your deck to your graveyard. So if you really want, I guess the most efficient way is probably going to be something to do with scraps. So, yeah. This is probably the best one, I would say. So we have Scrap Wyvern effect. You can target 1 scrap monster in your graveyard, special summon it, then destroy 1 card you control. If another face-up scrap monster is destroyed by a card effect, while you control this monster, you can special summon a scrap monster from your deck, and destroy 1 card on the field. So you just simply use this to summon Scrap Recycler, and yeah, this works for the most part. But like if we're using a lot of garnets for this, best way I can think of is to combine this with Lost World. Otherwise, you have to destroy something because of Scrap Wyvern's effect here. The special summon and then destroy 1 card on the field is the destroy part is mandatory, so that's a little annoying, but in general, what we could do is we can normal summon or just summon Scrap Raptor at some point. Scrap Raptor effect gets extra normal summon, grabs Chimera, normal summon Chimera with the extra normal, summon back Raptor, and then we can use the 2 to make Wyvern. And there is also the other idea of just using the 2 to make Infernal Flame Banshee as well, which is not out of the question, surprisingly enough. Because you can technically XYZ summon with these guys as well. And dinos can make rank 4s pretty easily, so there's an idea. Dinosaur, Rescue Ace. You could. Should you? Not sure, but you can. Which is for sure saying something. And in fact, actually, let's check Rescue Ace again real quick. What is the condition on Preventer? If this card is sent to the graveyard by any means, you can target 1 of your banished Rescue Ace monsters except for a level 8 monster. Special summon it. So you can special summon Turbulence off of this. So if you were to pill, banish Turbulence, and then destroy Rescue Ace Preventer or send it from your hand to your graveyard just somehow, Don't really care how. Maybe Barricade, sure. That would allow you to summon back Turbulence, interestingly enough. And then if you have like Rescue, of course, you can special summon back Preventer and then get another Book of Moon. So thinking about like UCT Book of Moon or Book of Eclipse and then Book of Moon effect here, and then like the back row. This is kind of just comedy at this point, right? But yeah, for the most part, this is every single like fairly useful tech or knowledge I have for using Rescue Ace, well, making Rescue Ace Turbulence, while also minimalizing the amount of Rescue Ace cards you're actually playing. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.